Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. So glad you're with me today. This is Daily Dose Radio, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse. So we're going to go verse by verse today as we look at 6, 7, and 8 in Psalm 39. So if you have your Bible, why don't you open up there to Psalm 39, and we're going to take a look here and see what we can see. And this psalm is for Jeduthun, and it is of David. So we talked about that at the beginning. This is a lovely psalm. You'll notice the themes here of silence and waiting. We'll hit on the waiting part today. Silence and waiting. The brevity of life is here. And so, the psalmist says, I'm not going to talk to anybody else but the Lord. And we looked at that yesterday when he begins this prayer. He says, "O Lord," and he begins to make his request. And isn't it marvelous, that request? I just keep coming back to that. That request was, cause me to know my end, to know the number of my days, and when I shall cease. I mean, he wants to know, how long he's going to live, because he wants to do something for the Lord. He wants to glorify him. And he goes on to say there in 5, it's just my days are just a few hands breadths. When you measure a horse and you measure it by the hands, the horse is so many hands tall. David says it's just a few. The length of my days is a few hands. That's all. So then we come today to verse 6, and we're going to look at 6, 7, and 8. So if you have your Bible, open it up there. If you don't worry. I'm going to read this for us. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. They heap up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. Okay? So that's 6, 7, and 8. Isn't that lovely language? So very King Jamesy. If I can, King Jamesian maybe. Every man that walketh is in a vain show. Yeah, and doesn't that just describe it? I mean, you look at the rich in this world, and they love to show off what they have, but they don't show off the poverty that is in their spirit. Their soul is famished. It's thirsty. And yet they go about in a vain show. He says, surely they're disquieted in vain. Again, they're suffering because they have the outward means, but they don't have the inward grace. They've not been born again. He heapeth up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. Heapeth. Notice that word, heapeth. So, you see the people, and it looks like wisdom to say, well, I'm going to follow what that guy does because that man is rich. I'm going to do exactly what he has done. But it's a vain show, isn't it? He heaps up riches, but he doesn't know who's going to take them after he's gone. Remember, part of the subject here is the shortness and brevity of life, and he's looking at the foolish rich, and he's saying they don't know either. They pretend they know. They walk in a vain show, so they're pretending. And I'm sure they're saying with their mouths, oh, how smart a boy am I? Look at me. Just like little Jack Horner sat in a corner. So, and now in verse 7, he says, now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. So he's not hoping for the riches. He's not hoping for the vain show. He's not hoping for any of that stuff. He's hoping for the Lord. He waits on the Lord. See, therein is wisdom, fearing the Lord, waiting for him, and he's silent. He's not talking to anybody else, but he is talking to the Lord. He's making his plea to him. Lord, here, I'm waiting for you. This really, that 7th verse is sort of that's the key verse in this psalm. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting on you. There in verse 7. My hope is in you, is in thee. And then we have verse 8, deliver me. So here's his request. His confession is, I'm waiting on you. His confession or his request is, deliver me from all my transgressions. Oh, make me not the reproach of the foolish. All my transgressions. So he's not asking the Lord to make him rich. What? He's not asking the Lord to help him heap up riches? Are you kidding me? He's not asking the Lord for the vain show? Isn't that what we're supposed to ask for? No, it's not. Ask the Lord for forgiveness of sin. That's what he's asking for. Remember Psalm 38? So that was the subject of Psalm 38. Here it is again. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Who's he going to tell that to but the Lord? Who's he going to say that to? He can't ask that of anybody else. But he asked it of the Lord. Friend, you should too. Ask the Lord to deliver you from your transgressions. Run away from the vain show. Run away from heaping up riches. It will not satisfy the disquiet in your soul. And then he says, make me not the reproach of the foolish. There are plenty of fools who want to reproach the righteous. And he says, Lord, keep me from that. Deliver me from transgressions. Don't make me the reproach of the foolish. Join me again tomorrow. We're going to look beginning there in verse 9. We're going to read 9 through 11. So join me here on Daily Dose Radio.